feels good to be back at home. Long trip, of course. This seems like it was 2 days ago, but it's been almost a week now. Good to be back, though. I thought our guys just played really well, played hard throughout just the duration of the game. Especially, a lot of people are hearing a lot of the noise and chatter going into a game like that, what people didn't think was meaningful. But every time we take the field, anything we do from a football standpoint is definitely meaningful. Got to give a shout out to our O-line. As always, just want to congratulate them on not only a great game, but, we had 3 guys, Pro Bowlers, giving us the ability to have a guy behind them make the Pro Bowl with Ja and David in the alternate, and also got to show love to Saint out wide. Just really looking forward to this weekend. We're geared up and ready to go. It's just we're focused on the details of our preparation right now, and I'm also focused. I can't help but be focused on with our crowd and with our fans and the energy that they're going to bring this week. I was just talking to someone a little bit ago about the energy in the first playoff game. The juice that it provided our players, and our players noticed that. So we're looking forward to being able to play this game at home.
Scottie, you have to earn it every week, obviously, but some inefficient games there with the run game leading into San Francisco. How much do you feel like that maybe was a get-right game for the entire operation?
I just think that our details, what we talked about a couple of times, our details, you could see them showing up early in the game, and everybody being collectively on the same page, whether it been our wideouts, our tight ends, our line, and then our backs. They did a good job in some of that as well. But we did like what we saw. We were truly efficient in this game. We've been efficient for the most part all year, but we have hit some games where we were over and beyond, and I thought our guys did a great job this week of being over and beyond.
Minnesota, I think 88 yards per game on the ground. They're number 2 in the NFL. Week 7, you guys had some success, 144 yards. Ja had a pretty good game. Just maybe 2-part question. What makes them so good defensively against the run? And then what was it that you guys were able to do a little bit there? Not giving away everything, obviously, but to have some success there, hit some big runs.
Multiplicity in personnel is what they have. They got multiple people that can play different positions on the field. So for some teams that can be critical in IDing how you want to get it done. For us, I thought we did a pretty good job of seeing, for the most part, they did give us a hard time in some certain situations, but seeing the IDs and making sure our receivers, our tight ends were on the same page. And then you add the component of, is it pressure? Is it not? Their looks are so similar that it's very, very hard to tell the difference between the two. And because of that, we have to do a good job of making sure where we're running into it or running away from it, of being able to see it. So a lot has to do with, of course, it always has to do with Frank, but also our quarterback and our backs, of just seeing and understanding who's the free guy, what we call the blade runner, who's not the blade runner. And then it'll help us get some of those runs that are 5-6 yard efficient runs, turning in like we did last time, maybe into an explosive, whereas a lot of other people right now are struggling a lot, with turning those 4-yard runs into bigger runs. To hold a team under 100 yards for a collective of a year just speaks to the type of coaching they have with Coach Flores.
Our AG's talked about, just sometimes asserting your will in matchups. When you put a Christian Mahogany and Dan Skipper out there at tight end instead of capable guys like Brock Wright and Sam Porter, just bigger and meaner, what does that do?
You think they're meaner?
I do.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I want to hear, Sam, make sure that Sam heard you say that. Yeah, no doubt.
What do you hope that does to an opponent that sees that personal package come out on the field?
Well, it's a personality that we're putting in, and we think that is our personality, to be quite honest. We're putting it out on the field. You've seen some of the clips where David was back there behind him one time, and the big guys came in, and he was like, it's big boy ball time. It's big boy ball time. And that mentality is just saying that, we're going to get behind our pads, backs, we're going to lower our shoulder pads, and it's going to be a physical play that we're about to have. But we try to play physical at all times, but it is a personality that runs out there. When those guys run out there, we all feel that sense of strength and power that you're talking about.
In the split 3, I imagine pass protection's a big focus this week for your group. We all know Demo was very good at that. What's your confidence level in some of the other guys that will be out there this week?
Yeah, we feel really confident with our guys right now. We've done a good job to this point of protecting, but it's basically because the communication that we receive from our O-line and the way that we communicate, verbal and nonverbal communication between the two groups and the amount of time that we spend together, we try to do a good job with that. So it really starts the first day we walk in the building. A lot of it, what you see on game day, is just the physical piece to it. We've really had a chance to digest and break down the mental aspect of it going into Wednesday, Thursday, and then by the time we get to game time, we know that at that point in time, we need to let the superstars go be the superstars, right? We need to let Frank do his job, and then our guys have got to accept the challenge of physicality. They are very physical, pressuring teams. There are teams that will schematically hit you. This is a team that will hit you schematically and with physical pressure. So we have to be on point. We got a lot of confidence in our guys, and Josh did a really, really good job transitioning from year one early to year one late, and then now in his second year of being able to see it, but also now going to be really, really physical at the point of attack.
Painted a pretty inspiring picture of David Montgomery the last time we talked to you, just his attitude in the immediate face of the injury. It's a few weeks removed. We've heard, kind of the timeline, the targets there, maybe second round of the playoffs. How have you seen him, attack the rehab, the work to hit, those timelines?
Yeah, just like he hits, game week, practice, double duties, wanting extra meetings, texting me, calling me, just everything that you've seen in him is who he is, so he's genuine. Listen, we're just really, really excited for him. If we get him back, we're going to try to make sure we utilize him as much as we can. Just looking forward to that time when it comes, if it comes, and hopefully it'll come. He'll be ready to go. I got no question about that.
How would you describe Craig Reynolds' running style?
Man, physical with vision. I really like the way he has patience and letting it die, just kind of some of the things digest. He does a great job of second level reads, which sometimes when you are as big and as strong as him, sometimes guys don't necessarily have the vision to make some of those cuts, but his feet are good enough to make those cuts. And then when he gets on the edge of some of those D linemen and linebackers, he's on the edge, so they turn into soft tackles versus being right down the center. So when he gets on the edge, it turns into a 5, 6, 7 yard run. So I think that's what he is. He's a physical guy that runs well with great vision. He can make the last second cut, presses the hole. We like to talk about doing the things the right way, but he's also very skilled as a runner.
What does it do for him to get that opportunity and to have the success he had in San Francisco? I mean, he knows he's capable of it, but to actually do it.
You know what? Every time we call on him, he answers, right? So that feels good. And he knows that he's in a room with some dynamic players, but he also knows that he's dynamic and he can make plays. The check down swing on the boundary, that was such a huge play for us in the game, an explosive force in the game where we're starting to now, our check downs, I talked about even at the beginning of the year, we got to start catching the ball facing defenders. We're starting to get some of those catches with facing defenders. And we were talking about Ja then, but all of our backs catching the ball facing defenders, and he got a chance to catch it and face up and made a play down the sideline. So it does a lot for your confidence, too, when you haven't been out there and you get a chance to go out there. Now you're ready to get back out there as soon as you can.
What about you saw the Reynolds, come out as well this week, but before we saw Ja finish second overall. The fan voting. How cool is that to see how quiet and leader he is, but to see how popular he is among fans as well?
Yeah, I just think he got somebody somewhere just voting like 220,000 times. No, it is, but he deserves it, right? His demeanor, he does have a different demeanor at different times. He's one of the biggest competitive guys that you could imagine. You guys have seen him do things on the field that is very competitive, but it does, it shows that you can come in any place, whether you're the first back, second back, and you can get better, right? So he's getting better, but he understands that there's still a long way for him to go to get to where we talked about in the beginning, consistency. But for him, for the rest of our guys, for JG, some of those numbers that came out, it just lets you know that all the hard work is not in vain. And this is a game, we talked about trust and respect this morning. This is a game that, man, if you put in the work and you do what you're supposed to do, and you got to have the talent as well, it will deliver some moments like this. There's some pain with it, but there's also some joy that comes. It's why we love it so much.
You mentioned the
Just the situation you were in from an organizational standpoint, we just talked about Craig Reynolds. Not many teams have a third back that can step in and do what he did. But then taking a running back in the first round, who's now a Pro Bowler 2 years later, re-signing a veteran guy when teams aren't really doing that with running backs the whole time. You see, but letting guys like Saquon Barkley go. But just the value that it seems that this organization has at that position group in that room. How much do you value the spot that you're in because of that?
I love it. The tremendous value in my spot and being here. But let's just face it, our organization does a lot of things that other people don't do. We've been able to, since I've been here, and I don't know, anything besides that, but just all around our building, our weight room, our nutritional staff, our head ball coach, our scouting department, our GM, the things that they are willing to do to get us to the next level has been consistent as anywhere that I've ever been. So, we're really, really happy about that. And it does bode well to have, be able to take a guy and he turns into, as an early player at least, exactly what you would hope that he would be. And then, a free agent that you bring in and they mesh well with a great, at the end of the day, which comes down to a great O-line, and the mesh between those two groups have been really good. Yeah. Thanks, guys.